Welcome to the Amy Noel YouTube channel for parents of kids with dyslexia. Today I'm going to talk about my recent meeting with the SELPA director. I want you to know the advantages of meeting with the SELPA director and how it can help you get the services you need for your child. Meeting with the SELPA director can help you get more services for your child because, number one, they have way more knowledge about what the district offers and how things work. They also have the authority to make those big decisions. Another reason you might want to meet with the SELPA director is to collaborate with them. For instance, I shared with her some information about dyslexia. Another important reason to meet with the SELPA director is to ask her questions, or him, about funding, about terminology, about general practices, or anything at all. I requested the meeting with my SELPA director mainly to talk with her about my request for a multisensory structured literacy program for dyslexia or auditory processing. I want to know about the logistics of my request. I really want to talk about funding and staff. I would like to know how you guys look for an effective program. First off, I just want to say I was so impressed with our SELPA director. She told me that now that legally dyslexia is a qualification for special education services, thanks to Decoding Dyslexia California, it is the SELPA's responsibility to meet the needs of those students and to provide services specifically for dyslexia. So first off, she said she wants to get them diagnosed with dyslexia because I haven't been able to do that privately. And she wants to set it up so that other kids in the district can get evaluated as well as a general practice. She's going to find an evaluator as soon as possible, hopefully by June 4th, and then have them evaluated as soon as possible, hopefully over the summer. I also asked the SELPA director how and where they would get their multisensory structured literacy program, and she said that if it's part of their IEP, they can get it in the SAI class, even if the other students are working on something else. Then we talked about a work group that she formed for our district to implement best practices for kids with dyslexia. She said that we're way behind the problem. I love that she just recognized that we are not up to par. And she said we need to catch up and then we need to get in front of the problem so that all of these things can be in place for students so that parents don't have to advocate for them or have a special meeting, but that they can be offered to students systematically. So in our conversation, she mentioned that my son tested above a third grade reading level and that in that situation, a multisensory structured literacy program might not be right for him because he's probably already beyond phonics and phonemic awareness. My research shows that even though children with dyslexia can get by up until 6th grade or 7th grade, it's because they're memorizing words instead of decoding words. So the reason they read at that grade level isn't because they know how to blend and decode, but it's because they've memorized so many words. In my meeting with the SELPA director, she asked me if I had any programs in mind. There is a specific program that would be ideal for our district called Wilson. I don't know how expensive it is because it's kind of the cream of the crop. It's for small group or general education through kindergarten to 2nd grade. So all the kids would get this kind of instruction, whether they're dyslexic or not. And then that early intervention can prevent those dyslexic children that aren't yet diagnosed from needing to go into special education, because they're getting their phonics instruction in a way they can learn and being able to progress with the rest of the class. They have K to 2nd grade general ed programs, and then they also have the tier 2 for like small group, intervention in the classroom, and then tier 3 special ed for K to 12. And that's the number one name you hear in all the dyslexic groups. Wilson and Barton are considered the best, but Barton is more one-to-one instead of general education or small group. This morning I requested another meeting with the SELPA director because I watched the presentation of the SELPA budget and that spurred a lot of questions for me. That's it for today's video. I hope that this is helpful to you. Please like, share, and subscribe if it is. If you hit the notification bell, you will get notified every time I make a video. As always, please share with me your comments, thoughts, and suggestions.